It was a Tuesday morning when we first noticed the statues. Cold, unmoving obelisks of otherworldly stone. They seemed to appear as if from nowhere, but evoked an uncanny impression of normality. As if they had always been there, part of our lives, as mundane as the benches and the fire hydrants we pass on our way to work. We were scared at first. I remember the news reports, the crowds that gathered in parks and on hillsides to stare, bewildered at them. I remember the nervous murmurings and barking dogs. I remember the feeling of deep unease that gripped me when I looked at them for too long. But it wasn't long before our fear faded and was replaced by an innate curiosity. We stopped fearing them and began to wonder where they came from, what they were made of, and who was responsible. How they got here and why they were here. We tested, poked and prodded, and we found nothing. They were made from no known substance, their qualities matched no metal or mineral. They appeared like stone, granite-like in appearance and texture, yet were warm to the touch and reacted with variances in heat when struck and exposed to liquid. Soon after, curiosity was replaced by defeat, then defeat by disdain. We trained ourselves to forget they existed, passed them by on our way to work like the benches and the fire hydrants. And we went on like that. We learned to avoid looking at them. We pushed the unease and fear from our minds and simply got on with it. And it was fine. Before long, the uncanny sense of unease seemed to disappear. We didn't even need to ignore them anymore. We became almost comfortable with them. We sat picnics around them, posed for selfies with them. A group of enthusiasts even started a religion devoted to them. And that was fine too. I remember when the first few died. We denied it at first, brushed it off as the devoted few taking their zealotry too far. We thought that they killed themselves in some act of sacrifice or piety. So we banned it, outlawed the religion, threatened weighty sentences for any found worshipping them. But it kept happening. People were just shutting down, their bodies giving up for no tangible reason, save for their proximity to them. It didn't take long for panic to begin. We quickly quarantined them, banned all access to them, and started to discuss solutions. We took the bulldozers to them first. We dug as far as we could, but they were entrenched so deep into the earth that eventually we just couldn't dig anymore. Then we tried force, weaponry, explosives, strongly worded letters. All were useless. And that was when the headache started. There wasn't a family that didn't lose a father or daughter then. Chronic headaches descending slowly into complete mental decay. Sons forgot their mothers, their names, and eventually simply faded away into complete vacancy. Their eyes devoid of everything that made them who they once were. By the time the birds started falling from the sky and the trees began to wither and die, we had exhausted all ideas and possible defenses against them. Mass evacuations were carried out. But it didn't matter. Wherever we went, they were always there, watching in unmoving silence. I remember the anger, the confusion, the desperate leaders of the world flailing for a solution. I remember the debates, the rage, and the vitriol. How quickly allied nations turned their backs on one another. I remember when the first bomb dropped, when the first city was leveled. How easily the cost of human lives was forgotten. I remember how we mourned as, one by one, nations of the world were lost. I remember a war with no sides, no winners or losers. I remember when the war ended, and there were no more bombs left. The streets and parks we used to walk through on our way to work were littered with bodies. I remember the day the lights went out. The day of the final broadcast. And then one day they were just gone. The statues had served their purpose. A silent invasion, complete and perfect. It was a Tuesday morning when we first noticed they'd left us.